Hopefulness 2.0, December 5th or 6th. I can't remember. Because it's 2 a.m. right now. Hold on a second. Let me check. Yeah, December 5th, 2023. Jesus Christ. It's almost over. It's almost 2024. Get this. In 2 weeks, it will be the 4-year anniversary of COVID being discovered. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was December 19th. (2019). Now, I could be wrong. But I think that's the case. I'd have to look it up. If I remember, I will put a comment in there with the appropriate... not appropriate, that's the wrong word. Approximately correct date, if you will. Because it's difficult to really nail... I mean, it's not entirely difficult, but it's kind of difficult to nail down the exact date. Well, okay, discovery is one thing. Like, when we discover there is a new virus, that's the day that we've discovered it. Whether or not we detected it, and I think that maybe is what I'm thinking of, because I'm kind of tired. And normally I'll be going to bed around 4 o'clock, so I'm going to try to get to bed a little sooner. I've already taken my meds. But I did just finish eating, so it's probably going to be at least an hour. But yeah, so anyway, the shot that I opened with was these 3 coffees from Philly D. From his Wake and Make. And so far, I've only tried the Happy Medium. I just did a little test. Took maybe like a half a tablespoon tops of the grounds, and then poured in some water. And I didn't put anything in it. I didn't put any sugar. I didn't put any creamer or any milk or anything, because I wanted to see what it was like just straight up. And that one was pretty good, surprisingly. Like, what's funny is this one smells burnt. Yeah. Oh. The smell of this one does not smell great. Which is weird, because I like the flavor of it. It reminded me of like an English tea or a black tea. And I'm like, huh. And it didn't have those burnt notes that, like every coffee I've ever tasted has. Or most coffees, not every coffee, of course. Any store-bought coffee, I have yet to find a store-bought coffee that doesn't have that kind of like bitterness to it. This one supposedly has notes of hazelnut and dark chocolate. I don't fucking know. But, like, the Guiding Light roast says it has notes of caramel and green apple. Okay. And they always have these little, like, one-way valves for the scent. Whoa. Whew. Managed to pull it in some, though, but, like, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of all at once, a little overwhelming. But, again, not the best smell. And maybe that's what I'm after. I don't know. I need to do some dishes, though. Because I haven't done any dishes, and I've got to try to debone a chicken again tomorrow. It's like, I bought these whole chickens, specifically so that I could learn how to debone them. And also, obviously, to, consume them. But what I want to do with this is what I've done with the last couple of bits of chicken, is dry brine it. I want to put it on my pan with the rack, lay it out, cover it in kosher salt. Here's a better visual. Kosher salt. And that helps sort of like cure it. Not really, but sort of. And in doing so, it kind of dries it out. Well, significantly dries it out, especially if you leave it in the fridge, because then it's nice and cold. It extracts all that water, all the extra moisture anyway, and it makes it taste really fucking good. A dry brine is real good. And then throw some oil on it or whatever and cook it up. Big deal. Now, I don't know exactly what I'll do with the whole chicken, because if you watch the video from Jacques Pepin when he debones the chicken, like the older one especially, because there's one specifically where he does the best he can to keep the chicken intact. And so like, if you consider my arm, he cuts off the forearm of the chicken. You have that one wing with the two bones, and you have the one wing with the one bone. This one's more white meat. This one is more dark meat. And a lot of times people just use this part for stock. Now I'd be like, let's just make some wings with it. Why not? Now, of course, the hand part, the part that looks very similar to a hand if you kind of look at the bones, there's just not enough. There's no real meat in it. It's like with your hand, there's probably not really. I mean, there's a little bit of meat, but there's really not a lot. And so what you want to use that for is stock, because all the collagen and stuff, it'll melt out, and then now you'll have, some chicken stock, and it's like Jello, and it's fucking delicious. And yeah, it looks disgusting, but it's fucking delicious. And I use it mostly for making rice as an alternative to water. Because I'm like, well, I got the bones from, the chicken thighs that I typically have, or from the carcass, whatever. The carcass has all kinds of stuff in it. And, and then of course you get like the gizzard and some of the other organs and stuff. And so you can kind of like bake those, get a sort of semi-slight fry on them, and you're essentially good to go. It's finally getting a little chilly in this place, which is good. But yeah, I'm gonna test out these coffees, see what they're like. It's like $20 plus shipping and tax, which would end up being a little over $30, I think. Which is a pretty good deal, but it was also like 40% off because of the whole like first time shipping with or first time subscription, and then I canceled the subscription when it was on its way. So I'm probably not gonna be able to do that again. But with that said, go 1 for 1. That's good. Because I like to have coffee in my life to some degree. I don't have to have it every day. I don't need it every day. But sometimes it's nice to have. And if it means paying a little bit more, And you know, I did try the coffee from the Awesome Coffee Club from the Vlog Brothers, John and Hank Green. Not that good. Not awesome. Sorry, guys. Socks, not really that awesome either. I kept going with the socks for over a year, and I was like, I just can't do it anymore. So I ended up going back to Darn Tough, like I usually do. Also got like a double helping, if you will. Semi. Double helping of lemon curd. Because it got kind of flat the first round because I didn't whip it in like I typically do on the stove. Because it was using browned butter. And I was also just kind of doing everything by hand. Just wanted to see. And then did it again last night. I'm going to do it again tomorrow night too. Just so I can kind of like get it done. Because I've got more lemon juice that needs to be used up. This fresh lemon juice doesn't last as long as the store-bought stuff. It essentially starts to lose its bite, at least from my understanding. And you know, I mean, it's kind of why you use lemons for stuff, is because they're nice and they bite, they're sour. Make things taste like lemon. Oh, you damn lemons, what am I going to do with these? Love me some Caves Johnson. Before I put everything up, though. I finished a loaf of bread today. And I cut using this. I was considering videotaping with this involved, but just didn't get to that. Kept forgetting. Because, fun fact, it's not really necessary to use a serrated knife. Here, when I use this one, it may be because it's probably not fully sharpened, or at least it needs to be sharpened or something, but it is a fucking mess. Like a big mess. I've rinsed this off. I'm going to go ahead and use it to blitz some eggs so that I can cook those up. Mostly egg whites. Boom, 3 eggs and like, I want to say 8 egg whites. You might be thinking to yourself, wow, that's not very many eggs in there with a lot of whites. And you'd be right. That's kind of the point. The point is to maximize the use. Oops, don't want to throw that out. In the process of using it. It has a little attachment to put there, which is cool. Then I can just dip it in. I can immerse it, press the on button, lock it, and then push the trigger that normally the trigger button normally launches the attachments out. But in this case, that's not what it's doing. A lot of suction too, which I guess is good because it keeps it immersed. It blitz the living shit out of it. some high quality scrambled eggs, if you will. Because they're definitely scrambled now. Sputter. Nope. Okay, it's done. Put this in here. Now I can have, you know, a couple of omelets or scrambled eggs or whatever I want in a couple of days. Put this in here too. There. Oops, it's flipping over. Small move. I'll deal with that on another load. Grab this herring. Dishwasher is loaded. I tested something yesterday because I've got some pâte pastry cream or dough. I got some pastry dough. The pâte dough. Where the hell is my shit? Hang on a sec. I was just like, well, I'm making some. As I hadn't made any in a while, and I had been wanting to make some, and I didn't have any milk on hand, and so I was like, well, next time I go to the grocery store, I'll get milk, I'll get eggs. I needed some olive oil because this was literally all I had left. And I have a bottle, and I'm just waiting to finish this one off so I can put it in the machine and clean it. But yeah, made some pâte and using Claire's advice from one of her Q&A sessions, because somebody else had a similar issue where the puffs didn't really puff up that much. And she's like, well, if you're using a Silpat, which is that, it can tend to hold on to some grease there by making it to where it'll just kind of start expanding out and won't expand up as much. So I used some parchment paper like she recommended, and it worked out pretty well. There will be still times that I'll use the Silpat because, I mean, one, I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth, but two, it's just easier, and I'm also running out of parchment paper too. So, and I mostly use that for bread baking because I preheat the oven for quite a while, then take some parchment paper, crumple it up so it's easier to work with, stretch it back out, plop the dough on it, plop the dough in the Dutch oven after pulling it out, cover it up, put it in there 15 minutes or so. 15 minutes covered, and then at least 5 more uncovered. Works out pretty well. Yeah. I'm going to finish this up and then turn that on. And then I'm feeling the heaviness. We'll see if I can go to sleep soon or not. Have fun.